What up, y'all? This is your boy Shafferspeeks, man. Before I get anything started, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like and subscribe buttons to my homeboys, Millaboy Gaming and Heemz Gaming. They do great co-op online streaming for Twitch and YouTube. Let's get into it, you guys. Riverdale Season 4, Episode 5, Chapter 62. Witness Protection for the Prosecution. Now, in this episode, a lot goes down. Betty finds out, or I should say, she has a regressed memory of when her beloved cat, Carmel, gets killed, gets hit by a car, and she vaguely remembers Hal saying, well, Hal basically tells Betty to euthanize her cat Carmel. So to end Carmel's suffering, Betty picks up a rock and smashes it over Carmel's head. I know it's sickening, and I'm sorry that I have to say it like that, but that's just the reality of it. Obviously, I would never do that, and so on. But anyway, because Betty's like in her junior FBI class now, which is ran by Clarice, aka her brother Charles. Kevin's there just because he thinks Charles is hot, and then also you know Veronica and the trial of her mother and Hiram. Speaking of which, Hiram is actually a who's actually an exonerated, exponentially free man. By the way, he's actually thinking about running for mayor. But while we're in the during the court federal proceedings of Hermione and things of that nature, we're going back to the cabin where Tallboy was killed, and it's owned by Hermione. Now, mind you, that could also set Hermione up for life. So what Hermione does is says that she's guilty, so that she switches her plea to guilty instead of saying she's not guilty. Why? Because she knows that her daughter Veronica has some very scheming evidence on the governor, and she can use that to get her mother pardoned. But Hiram Lodge, the ever so tenacious and cunning bastard he is, has a backup plan for a backup plan. He has his other daughter, Hermosa, who happens to be a private eye. You know, she talks to Veronica and says, "I know that you've been having some illegal hangs with the governor," which means, in other words, oh shit, you know what? I know you got some evidence on the governor. Give it here. So I'm wondering how that's gonna go. Archie is doing his best not to turn to crime, to help the El Royale stay together, so that way, kids can have a community center where they can get away from life of crime. Because Dodger got his ass whooped by Archie. He did stop a purse snatcher, but he was pepper sprayed in his balaclava, which I hope is laundried, by the way. And but one of the guys from across the street, one of the guys, because Archie held a press conference. One of the guys actually says a store from across the way, I believe, who pays protection for Dodger and his crew. Pretty much, they're all afraid but Archie handles his business. He confronts Chopper and said, I'm sorry, not Chopper, but he confronts Dodger and says, "Look," in his little Bane voice, I can only imagine. He said, "Look, man, get the fuck out of town or face consequences, aka a declaration of war." So I'm hoping that Archie doesn't get into the, big time city war with this guy, because you can never know who he's connected to. But goddamn, man. And also, my boy Jughead, man. He still has some dealings with this kid Brett, because Jughead beat him at some winking game. But we learned that Mr. Chippings is the very man that Jughead is a big fan of because of the Baxter books, because of these books. It turns out that's all a pseudonym that's derived from, I believe, Mr. Chipping's family. It's an heirloom. It's an heirloom, if you will. And he says, "Look, man, why don't you and your dad come through for this cheese and wine reception?" Effie blatantly says, "Fuck no," because he's not gonna go smile and pretend, and to entertain these rich snooty white people, because his father, who was a mean and crazy drunk to FP as a kid, like, he's not about to do that, which is extremely and understandably fair, if you ask me. But while looking through one of his old Baxter books, FP's one of, but while Effie's looking through one of his old Baxter books, he sees this invisible ink message inscribed by his father that says, you know, "Never let anyone tell you that you don't belong and that you're not necessary pretty much. Something to this variation. And he says, trust few, which I think is very nice for a father to say that to his son, even though they don't have the best relationships. So that means that there was some, love amongst FP and his father. But, also, there's this new competition with the basketball. I guess it's a tradition where they have to, read the first few chapters of a book and then pretty much outline the rest. And the theme of the damn book is the perfect murder, which is why we see FP, fast forward to the spring. He just bombards into the school and arrests Veronica, Archie, and Betty over the murder of his son, Forsyth Pendleton III, aka Jughead. So let me know what you guys think about this, man. Did you guys like Riverdale tonight? Let me know in the comments below, man. Peace and love.